Hello YouTube, Totalhenry here, and welcome to another episode of what I'm reading and watching. I got a haircut. It looks terrible, I know. So, last week was Golden Week, so there were no new chapters, so that's why I didn't post a video. I thought about posting one, but I just had stuff to do, and I decided no new chapters came out, so why bother? So, this is the weekly show where I talk about the manga and anime that I've read over the past week. This is as usual, another all manga episode. There will be some anime ones in the future, I promise. Now, in the description below is the table of contents that will show you when in the video I am talking about certain topics, like when I'm going to talk about Bleach, when I'm going to talk about One Piece, and it gives you the freedom to watch what you want to watch. So starting off, as usual, is Toriko, chapter 322. The ending was very interesting, kind of a cliffhanger, new information, but I didn't really care about it because I just have not been enjoying Toriko anymore. Like I wrote down on my little sheet over here that I am done with this series. I'm gonna keep reading it, but like it's hard for me to care about it just because I don't like the direction it's heading in. It's not as fun and carefree as it was before. I have no idea what's going on, so that's part of it. Like I don't know who the bad guys are, what the full course meals are, what all these names. I don't haven't been keeping track of them, or like it just didn't stick with me enough. And I just missed the days when Toriko was going out on his own and getting whatever food he wanted. And now there's all this like plots and evil people. I just don't think the series needs it. I liked it when it was simpler and more carefree. So I will still review it, but I just don't really see myself caring that much about it anymore. Next up is Bleach, chapter 625. This was a good chapter. I love the beginning because some old characters have come back. I mentioned that 2 weeks ago with the last chapter. One of my favorite characters returned, and another character that I sort of liked has returned. So a lot of old characters are coming back. A lot of dialogue and technical stuff in this chapter. I read it. I didn't mean much to me, but they're gearing up for what seems to be the final round, Ichigo against Yawak. So that's exciting. Ichigo is probably going to start fighting him within a few chapters. Next up is One Piece 785. Now, this was a really great chapter. There was great action. Luffy, Doflamingo slugging it out. Luffy's Gear 4 is on display again, so that was a lot of fun to see. And then there were some great sort of emotional moments. The king of Del Rosa, I believe that's a city, he gave a really nice speech, very heartfelt speech, sort of a classic Oda moment. So I love that. And I get the sense that the battle's coming to an end, unless Doflamingo's gonna pull like another power out of nowhere. So this is very exciting. The battle's finally here, and I'm gonna keep enjoying One Piece because I love it. Next up is Nisekoi, chapter 169. This was an okay chapter. There was a huge cliffhanger. Something dark is going or was hinted at, but knowing Nisekoi, if you've read this chapter, what they said at the end of this chapter is not going to happen just because Nisekoi doesn't change. 169 chapters and very little has changed. And I also wish the chapter was a little bit funnier. I'm also finding, just like with Toriko, Nisekoi has changed. The humor is not there anymore. It's probably because just sort of the same old jokes. There's no real new material, and people just want to are only reading this to see who is Raku going to wind up with? What girl is he going to wind up with? So, I will keep reading Nisekoi. I've invested a lot of time in it. I like the series. I'm trying my hardest to find every possible reason to think it's good and telling people it's gonna good. Oh, it's gonna change. It's gonna change. But based on past evidence, I don't think it's going to. So I'm not taking this cliffhanger thing too seriously as I did a month or two ago with the school trip arc and the possible Chitoge leaving forever arc thing. Next up is Shokugeki no Soma, chapter 117, with the image over... Screw that. Chapter 117 of Shokugeki no Soma. This was a really awesome chapter. And I say there was a huge cliffhanger here, but just not... I don't know if it's cliffhanger, just foreshadowing what's going to happen. You're talking about the Council of 10, the top kids in the school, so that's going to be interesting. We're probably going to meet some new characters, some new insane chefs. But I love this chapter because Soma, just like I predicted in the last video, he beats everybody that sent him challenge letters. Incredible. Soma, he's gone up another level. He is just so good. I don't understand cooking, but it looks like a competitive sport here. It's really cool, and Soma right now is the best at it. Now, next chapter, next series, My Hero Academia, chapter 41. This I also thought was a good chapter. The hero tournament keeps going. A lot of really intense fights. The Final Four was in this chapter. I won't tell you who's in the Final Four. And I'm really wondering right now what's going to happen with Midoriya, the main character, just because his power and it hurts him too much, and the healer, she doesn't want to keep healing him. So what can he do? This is his only way he can fight. And I've talked about this before, and I'm just, what's going to happen to him? There's also a really great ending, last panel, really creepy image, also kind of foreshadowing, sort of a cliffhanger thing. So I'm curious to see how that's going to come up in the upcoming chapters. Now, next series is Haikyuu, chapter 156. Great chapter. The game is continuing. The final game. I never know the teams that are playing in this game, but there's great action in it. The ending is really, really good, and sparks are flying, tension between the two players, and it's just a very intense match. Everyone's pulling out all the stops, and it's only the second set. It's only the start of the second set. And that's basically all to say about Haikyuu. There's not really any deep plots or mysteries about it. It's just quick strike. Just spike the ball over the net. Don't let the other team whatever. Oh my god, this video is a mess. Black Clover, chapter 12. Great, really great title page, really great color page. Really enjoyed it. You should check Black Clover out. But just like always, this was another solid chapter. And I want to talk about the relationship between Asta and Yuno. At first I thought it was a Naruto Sasuke rivalry, but they are really good friends. And Naruto and Sasuke didn't really have that in the early chapters. They were really butting heads, but Asta and Yuna, they respect each other and they're good friends. So they are trying to compete with each other, but I can also see them just hanging out and having a good time, just relaxing like friends. So the other thing I want to say is the Wizard King. I love the Wizard King. He is such a weird and an interesting character because I didn't think that's how a king would act, and he's only had a few pages of screen time, page time, whatever you want to call it. But I'm already intrigued by his character. I wonder when we're going to see his magic and how strong his magic is going to be. And there's also a little more info on the world with the other continents. So that's going to be interesting. They're talking about some neighboring countries and conflicts between the two countries. Sort of reminds me of Full Metal Alchemist and the other countries that were attacking them. And is there an arc starting? Because they mention this other country and how other countries trying to get where the main characters are to get some treasure, and there might be an attack. So looks like there's going to be a fight next chapter, and I'm willing to guess that the villain is going to be from this other country, so I think there's going to be an arc starting, which is what I wanted to happen. The art is great, the characters are great, I love Asta, I love all the characters in here. I've said that multiple times in this video, I've said it multiple times in other videos. Read Black Clover, it is one of the best Shonen Jump series out right now. Now, next up, or last for the weekly series, is Naruto, the 7th Hokage, and the Scarlet Spring. This is chapter 700 plus 2, so the second chapter of this little mini-series. I really enjoyed this chapter, and it's only the second chapter, and there's so much going on. I know they're taking stuff from the old Naruto series, 700 chapters worth of stuff, and combining it, so of course there's going to be a lot going on. But it's only the second chapter, and it feels like there's been so many chapters already. I love the new characters. And also, Naruto seems like a really good and dependable Hokage. I didn't think he was going to be like that, but he's really taking this role seriously. I like that Shikamaru is his right-hand man. I don't know, I never would have thought that she would do that because Shikamaru is so lazy. And there's some interesting questions about Sasuke's daughter's birth. Her name is Sarada. I'm going to say Sarada. I think that's her name. What is Sasuke doing? He had some nice action scenes in the very beginning of the chapter. That there was a lot of mystery going on there, so that was cool. But what is Sasuke doing? What's the circumstances surrounding his daughter's birth? And what will happen when Naruto meets Sasuke? I don't think all those questions are going to be answered in the next chapter, but things are definitely heating up, and you should also check out this series. It goes back to the earlier Naruto things. It's a little more carefree. Even though it's plot driven, it still feels like the old Naruto volumes. It's fun because there's all these Ninja Academy age kids, so it just reminds me of the early days when Team 7 was going out on missions, and I think that's really cool. Now, the last super special thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is Jumpstart. I did this a few episodes ago. Jumpstart's a thing where America's Weekly Shonen Jump brings over the new series that are debuting in Japan. If you've read Bakuman, you sort of know the process of getting new series into the magazine. So the two series that are going to be showcased in America's Jump with 3 chapters each are Straighten Up, Welcome to Shika High's Competitive Dance Club by Takuma Yokota, and Devilly Man by Kentaro Fukuda. So those are the 2 series that are going to be having their first 3 chapters in Jump over the next probably, 4, 5, 6 weeks. So Straighten Up was the first Jumpstart series, and again, this is about competitive dancing in high school. This was a very interesting first chapter, interesting concept, and there's the main character, Mashari Tishia, and he's sort of a regular high school kid. He's not good with girls, that's what they said, and he's first year of high school, like first few days, and he's trying to pick a club, and he sees these really handsome guy and really hot girls dancing on stage, and he thinks, and a lot of guys are thinking, I want to do that. I want to be with these cute girls. So he gets dragged to this competitive dance club, and there's a lot of weird characters in here, so I think this is going to be an interesting series. And there's not much you can really tell from the first chapter. It sort of sets the stage. I mean, based on like the title page of manga, I think this main character, he's going to obviously join the competitive dance club. There's another female character that I don't think she really got introduced, but she's also a first year, and they were in sort of this promo picture dancing, so I think they're gonna start dancing together. But other than that, there's not really much to talk about. It was an interesting series. The art, I wasn't a huge fan of it. It reminds me of the style from My Hero Academia. That's the closest thing it reminds me of. And the main character, he looks kind of lame. All the characters that are in the dancing club, they look really cool. I like their character designs, especially the male character. But other than that, I don't know what to tell you. I should note, and I probably should mention this at the beginning, the image I will have on the screen hopefully will show the main character and that female character that was introduced dancing. So you can get an idea what they look like and why I think their designs are kind of lame. So next week will be chapter 2 of Straighten Up and Devilly Man chapter 1. So Straighten Up is interesting. I guess that's the best way to put it. And that is the end of another wonderful episode. I'm trying my hardest to start making videos again, and I hope you guys keep watching them.